morning, everyone. Okay, let's check out our setup. How are you today? Welcome back to my studio. This is Annie from Eat Move Milwaukee. Take a moment to grab your props if you need any blocks or straps. Settle in. Thank you for joining me again. Okay, there we are. All right, welcome back to your mat. I hope you've had a great weekend. Here we are again, getting ready to move our bodies. So no matter what you did this weekend, however you're feeling, here we are. We're starting somewhere. I'm going to take one more moment to make one more adjustment so we can see a little more. I have to decide if the head or the feet are more important. You have to choose. All right. So we're going to start today on our bottoms. So whether you want to have those legs out in front of you or you want to fold them underneath and sit on a block, that is up to you. Choose now where you think would be a good place to start. And of course, if that changes, you can always move around. I like to bring that block underneath my sit bones so that I can drop those hips and knees open a little bit more. So take a moment here to sink those sit bones into your mat. Maybe you ground through the palms of the hands, resting on the knees. You might close your eyes or take that gaze down to the earth. Maybe you had an active weekend and your body is sore and you want to slowly start to move into some of the joints and muscles. Maybe you had a very slow weekend and you want to wake up those joints and muscles a little more. So just considering where you are without dwelling on what has occurred, just notice the body now, bringing that into our intention that we'll set in a moment. Think about lengthening that spine a little bit more. Roll the shoulders down and back. Take a moment to notice the sounds. Maybe you notice some sounds within your body as you digest, as you breathe, as you feel your heartbeat. Just notice and then let those sounds pass through. Then we'll bring our attention to the sounds around us in our space. Again, just noticing and then letting it pass. Then bring your attention to any sounds you might hear beyond your space, outside of your home, or wherever you're practicing. And again, just take that in and then let that all go. draw your attention to your breath. Notice if you can really lengthen that breath. Are you taking short breaths? Can you really draw them out? Notice the difference in your lungs, in your abdomen, when you take those deeper breaths. And I invite you to set an intention for this class. What is it that you would like for your focus today? Maybe you have a thought, a phrase, a word in mind. Take a moment now to consider that, to solidify. Find a little bit more length in the spine. Let that intention set in. And then we'll release those hands. We'll move into our first pranayama, or mindful breathing exercise. So today we'll start with Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So with this pranayama, this is a good one for really finding that center, finding calm, certainly good for working through anxiety. So we'll start with our right hand. We'll all use our right hand. I'm not going to mirror you here. So take the pointer finger and that middle finger and either fold them into the palm, or you could place them on the third eye. So at the place on the center of the brow, center of the forehead, just above the brow line. So two options there. We're going to use our thumb and our ring finger. That pinky's just going to kind of hang out there. So the idea is that we take this air in one nostril, out the other, in and out, and back and forth, directing it through those nostrils. If you get very practiced at this, you can do this without the hand. You can have a little bit more control and focus on how you direct that air. So for now, we'll take that breath in, and I'll show you in a moment. We're going to take it in as if we're climbing up a mountain, so you can close your eyes and imagine it going all the way to the top, and then you would descend the other side. So the idea is that the breath in and the breath out are equal length. So however long you want to make that, that's up to you. But there is no count, there is no ratio. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, but there is no specific count that we take here. So we'll start by, again, placing those fingers either in the palm or at the center of the forehead. Close off the right nostril with the thumb, and then start by taking your first breath in through the left. Close off the left nostril with the ring finger. Open right. Exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left. Exhale. Inhale left. Close off, open right, let it go. And then start to take it at your own pace, just directing that air back and forth. Long, deep breaths, tall spine. Finish the round you're on, ending with an exhalation through the left nostril where we began. And you can bring those hands down. Pause for a moment. Just notice that spine. Pull the navel in. And if you have a block under the sit bones, you can remove that now. We're going to start moving this body, gently moving into it. Again, listening to how you feel, depending on what you may have chosen for activity in the last couple days, last few days. Start to make some circles here through the hips. Just take this slowly. We'll inhale as we come around to the back. Exhale forward. And switch the direction. And all the way back to the center. Let's take those arms up on an inhalation. Reach up, drop the shoulders away. Notice how that back feels. Reach up again. And then exhale, fold forward slowly. You could land those hands on a block if that would give you more support. Reach the crown of the head forward. Root through those sit bones. Don't let those sit bones come up. Root through the sit bones. And then fold a little more deeply. Always thinking about that long spine. So we're not crunching over and trying to see the inner thighs. We're looking up and out ahead of us. Next breath in takes you back up. And we'll take that fold over towards the right. Reach up through that top arm. Find length through the side body. Reach through the fingers. Maybe you're imagining you're going to touch that corner where the ceiling meets the wall. And then think about opening up that chest. So if you feel like you're bending forward, open up the chest. Keep reaching through the fingers. One more breath in. Exhale, lengthen. And then inhale back to the center. Take your time here. Exhale to the left. Again, reach through those fingers. Find some length through that body. First big stretch of the day, perhaps. Open up that shoulder. Take one more reach. Exhale, find more length. We'll take it back up. Slowly rotate those arms around. Notice how the shoulders feel. You could take opposite elbows. You could clasp hands. You could bring those hands down to the earth, fingers pointing towards the glutes. Wherever you are, walk those shoulder blades together. Open up the chest, open the heart. And you might take your gaze up, finding a little bit of a back bend. Press those elbows or knuckles down towards the earth, or maybe you press the heels of the hands down into the mat. Next breath in takes those arms back up. Reach, reach, reach. And then we'll take a twist. So again, if you've had a lot of movement here over the weekend or you're sore for any reason, just take your time. There's no rush today. Find more length here on your next breath in. And exhale, let's twist more deeply. Next breath in brings this back arm around, crossing to the opposite knee. So we have our elbows crossed here. You can take those hands to opposite shoulders, or you could twist up those arms into eagle arms. Stay here, or you might raise those hands slightly, noticing the difference in that back stretch. You could even press the elbows away. Again, seeing how deeply you can stretch, and how does that feel? Use your breath to deepen this stretch. One more breath in, lift the arms up. Exhale, slowly start to release. Inhale, take it up again. And exhale, let's twist to the other side. Grow tall on your next breath in. Exhale, deepen the twist. And then we'll bring this back arm around, again crossed at the elbows. Take opposite shoulders, or you might twist up the arms. Breath in and deepen. You could press the elbows away or raise the hands. And slowly release. Take an inhale again. And let's just shake those arms out. Notice how those shoulders or arms feel. We're going to head down to our back soon, but before we do, let's bring the bottoms of those feet together for a stretch. So pressing those soles together. Hands can be either at the ankles or around the feet or the toes. Find some length here. Grow tall out of those hips. And then exhale, start to fold forward. Again, lengthen that spine. You might gently press those knees down, hands are on the ankles. Again, just take your time here. No rush. And all the way back up, keeping the soles of those feet together. We'll start to head down to our back. We're going to use our strap today. So if you have that close by, bring it in. Reach those arms up as you first arrive on your back. Just stretch those arms. Again, noticing how it feels all the way through the arms, through the lats, through the chest, upper back. And then exhale, float those hands down to the belly. Moving into our next pranayama here, taking our 4, 7, 8 breath. This is another pranayama that's good for working through anxiety, depression, insomnia. Let your breath go. Next inhalation, breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release as if you're blowing through a straw. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through that straw. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take 2 more rounds of 4, 7, 8 breath at your pace. Maybe slowing it down and really deepening that breath. And you're finished. We'll take one more stretch overhead with those arms. Big breath in. And then release those hands down. Slowly bring those knees in. Just guide them together. And we'll draw them into the chest. And you could rock back and forth, massaging that lumbar spine. You might pause on your back and take those knees around. Feeling those hips today. And then we'll plant those feet on the earth. Start by bringing that right foot to cross over the left leg and then just gently press that right knee away. Keep anchoring that lower back into the earth. Notice what core engagement you feel as you draw that lower back down. And then we'll bring that strap around the left thigh. So if you don't have a strap or you don't prefer to use one, You can just make a little basket with your hands. I like to use a strap because it gives me more length. So when I reach my hands for the back of that thigh, I end up straining my neck or pulling my shoulder blades off the earth. So my idea of a deeper stretch is to let that all lay flat on the earth, relax the neck, and just focus on that leg, that hip joint. So that's my intention for using a strap. It allows me to work with my proportions. Maybe you have really long arms, or maybe it just feels different to you. So once I have that strap around the thigh, I start to draw it up so the left foot comes off the earth. And then also an advantage of that strap is you can hold it here in one hand and press this knee away with the other. So I'm getting a deeper hip stretch. So keep drawing left thigh in and keep pressing right knee away. Keep this right foot flexed to protect the knee. And notice how that feels. Draw the lower back into the earth. You might send that left leg to the sky, pressing through the heel. Stretching the hamstring a bit more. Notice the neck. Can you relax the neck? Stretching the hip flexor here, engaging the quadricep if you sent that leg up to the sky. Keep drawing left thigh in, and then slowly begin to release. We'll keep that foot crossed, but we can release the strap now. So bring those arms into a T. Take a breath in. And then exhale as you lift and shift those hips to the left. Take another breath in. And then exhale, draw that right knee down to the earth on the right. Take your time, finding that deep spinal twist. Bringing both shoulder blades to lie flat on the earth. And then you might take your gaze over the left fingertips. Next breath brings those knees back to center. Keep the cross of the legs. Lift and shift the hips to the other side. Breath in here. And then exhale, draw that right foot down to the left. Again, take your time. So this is going to be a deeper stretch through the right hip. Draw that right shoulder blade down to the earth. Notice the stretch here. You might feel it through the side body, the lower back on the right side, the hip flexor, the IT band. Lots of opportunities to find that stretch. And you might press that right knee away to go a little deeper. Just take your time. Breathe into any deeper parts of that movement that you choose. Next breath brings us back to center again. And we'll shift the hips to center, uncross, take the feet as wide as the mat. And just start to gently bring those knees to swish back and forth. Feeling it out. How do the hips feel? Let's land those knees on the right. Really draw that left knee down. Stretching the quadricep, opening up that hip flexor. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take those knees to the left. Again, really drawing down that right knee. And then inhale back to center. We'll walk the feet in hip distance apart. And then when you're ready, we take that left foot to cross over the right leg. And just start by gently pressing that left knee away. Draw the right side abdominals down to the earth. Notice what kind of engagement actually on both sides that you might find as you draw that lower back down. And then we'll release that knee. take that strap around the right thigh or make that basket with your hands. And you can also use a scarf, a tie, a belt, something else besides a strap if you don't have one. Bring that leg into the chest. Start to press that left knee away slowly. Relax the shoulder blades and the neck. Breathe. And you might take that right heel, that right leg up to the sky. Press. Notice that strength through the hip flexor, the quadricep, and then keep pressing this left knee away. One more breath in. And slowly release it down. And let that strap go off to the side once again. We'll keep the cross of the legs, hands by your sides. Lift and shift the hips to the right again. We'll take those hands out in a T actually. Breath in. And then exhale, take that left knee slowly down to the left. Draw that right shoulder blade down. And notice that stretch through the right hip. So it's a little bit different than when we went to this side before, but we had the legs crossed in the opposite way. Inhale, lift and shift hips to the left. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bring that left foot down to the right, looking over the left fingertips. Different type of stretch here through the hip flexor, the back. Draw the left shoulder blade down. And then inhale it back through center. We'll center the hips, uncross the legs, feet as wide as the mat, and just swish slowly back and forth. And then we'll land with those knees off to one side. You can fold to one side and gently make your way up. And we'll bring those legs out in front of us. So perhaps you started here, but now we're actually going to stretch in this way. So keeping it fairly low to the ground today. So you could bring a block underneath those sit bones. Know that that's always an option with any kind of seated posture, is to lift up those hips. In this case, if you have really tight legs, it can allow you to go a little bit deeper with, again, whatever you are working with. So just know that that is an option. I'm going to keep that strap close. You can also use this block in between the feet, either to prevent those foot bones from banging into each other when we are really getting into a stretch, or to keep those legs in better alignment coming down from the hips. So you decide what you'd like. If you want, you can thread that strap around the feet, and then we'll just really root through the sit bones. So remove the flesh from under the sit bones. Find some length here. And we're going to start working into the bandhas. So the bandhas are the locks. I'm not sure that we've done this. We've practiced this in our classes here, but we're going to try this today. So it's a way to really engage some muscles more deeply, but in a very isometric kind of way. So it doesn't seem like we're doing lots. So outwardly, it wouldn't look like we're moving that much, but there's a lot of focus and strength going on. So we start here by planting those hands by our sides. And the first bandha that we work into is the root lock. This is called Mula Bandha. So if you can imagine, it's that area at the base of the spine. So the perineum, for women, this might feel like a Kegel exercise. So try to engage that area at the base of the spine. And you can close your eyes for all of this if you wish. So it helps you draw that attention to that space. So just engaging there, keeping the breath moving, so we're not holding our breath. Keeping it moving, but really engaging that muscle group there. Take another couple breaths. Strength through the core. The root through those sit bones. Moving up to the navel lock, Uddiyana Bandha. So with this one, sit a little taller and then draw that navel into the spine. We're still engaging at root lock. You could take them one at a time, but the idea is that we keep building up. So pulling that navel into the spine and still engaging the root lock. Breath is moving, not holding. Moving up to the chin lock, Jalandhara Bandha. So imagine that you're holding a grapefruit between the chin and the chest. Noticing posture, noticing core engagement. Work back through those 3 locks. See if you can engage all the muscles and keep the breath moving. It's a lot. As we have these 3 locks engaged, this is called the Great Lock or Mahabandha. One more breath in. And slowly, slowly release. Take a breath. Shake out those legs. So again, it's subtle, actual movement, but it's a lot of focus and it's some strength through that core. So we may try that again. It's something interesting to consider. All right, moving into stretching these legs a little bit more. So again, we're gonna get that strap ready. So we focused on those muscle groups. Now we're actually going to stretch into these legs. So I'm pressing my balls of the feet into the strap and I'm kind of flexing those feet back. You can choose how hard you want to flex those feet. Take a breath in, lift up out of the hips. Again, draw that navel into the spine. And then start to fold forward. Think about reaching that head way beyond the toes if you could. So the idea is to create that length. So keep reaching the head up, and then we fold more deeply down towards the thighs. This is not about how deep we can go, but how long can we make that spine? And once you fold, if you decide that strap isn't where you want it to be and you'd rather reach for something else, you can certainly do that. Try to go a little deeper with your next breath. One more. Inhale, reach the crown forward. Exhale, release. And slowly come up, bring the arms up. And exhale, float them down. We'll scoop that left knee in first. Bring that knee in. You could hug under the kneecap. You might rotate through that ankle, pointing and flexing the foot. And then we'll just cradle this leg. So taking the right hand to the left foot and cradling that knee in the elbow, just rocking back and forth. Notice how that feels for the hip. We'll plant that foot maybe across the long leg if that foot goes flat, or you could certainly keep it on its own side. Rotate through that shoulder, slowly take that arm around. Make a kickstand behind you. You might have that hand on a block to get a little bit more length. And then we'll hug or hook this other elbow around. Take a breath in, find length in the spine, and then exhale, release. Keep going deeper with each round of breath. And then slowly unwind. We'll take a counter turn to the other side, noticing any movement in the spine. Back to center. We'll bring this leg to its own side and slowly guide it all the way down. Shake out those legs. Move into the other side. So we take this other knee and draw it in. Give it a hug. And then you might work through that ankle, noticing any pops here, pointing and flexing the foot. And then we'll cradle that knee and just rock it back and forth. Planting that foot across or on its own side. Rotate through the shoulder. Find length as you sit tall. And then hug or hook the other elbow Deepen the twist on an exhale. One more breath in. Release, take that counter turn. And back to center. We'll bring this foot to its own side and slowly guide it down. Shake out those legs. And then we'll take those hands underneath the kneecaps. Let your legs feel heavy here. Start to draw those knees in. Let them come wide. Bringing the soles of the feet back together for that bound angle pose that we visited earlier. And draw those knees down. Lift up out of the hips. Notice if this feels any different than when you tried it earlier. We have stretched into the hips a bit more since then. Lift up. Notice your breath. One more breath in. And then gently fold forward over those legs or those feet. You can rearrange those hands however it feels best for you. And all the way back up, keeping the soles of those feet together again. We'll walk down to our backs like we did earlier. Slowly make your way down. You might take it hands to forearms, just lowering down gently, no rush. Bring those hands overhead. Take a big breath in, stretching through the side body. Exhale, take that left hand down to the left knee, taking the lateral bend here. Inhale it up. Exhale, take the right hand down to the right knee. Back up on an inhale. And bring those arms out to a T. Big breath in. Again, knees are wide. Exhale, draw that left knee over to the right. Really pin those knees together. Inhale wide. Exhale right over to left. Back open. One more round. And then we'll gently bring those hands to the belly. Letting those knees drop open. Spread the shoulder blades. And then take one hand either to the ribs or the chest. The other one remains on the belly. Moving into our three-part complete breath. Preparing for a deeper state of relaxation. Next breath in. Notice that belly, how it rises as you take a breath in. Ribs expand. And the chest goes up. Exhale, belly goes down. Ribs close. And the chest lowers. Slowly inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Keep it moving at your pace. One more round. And release. Take any other stretches or movements that you wish before you move into your final relaxation in Shavasana. Breathing normally there. Stretching out. Releasing tension. Taking these last few moments to yourself. Gently bring your attention back to the space. Wiggle fingers and toes, maybe take a full stretch. Take your time. Make your way to one side of your mat. You might support your head with that lower arm. Take another breath there. And when you're ready, we press up to a seated position. You can keep those eyes closed, bring hands to heart center. Notice each finger pressing into that on the other hand. No matter where you are on your journey, this week, year, or lifetime, I thank you for pausing today to share this practice with me. The light, love, and peace in me recognizes and honors the light, love, and peace in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to your mat. Have a beautiful week. Listen to your body, tune in, see what it's saying, what does it need. I thank the Milwaukee Rec Department for keeping us connected at this time. We will see you at our Thursday morning Yoga Zone practice. I'm taking requests, so please send that to me in a message if you have an idea. Be well.